Hi, Rob Sinclair from E&S Trading, and here we are today to talk about the fabulous condenser dryer, a must-have inclusion in any modern laundry today. So what does a condenser dryer do for me? Well, first of all, as the name says, it's responsible for condensing all of the moisture that is generated during the drying program and actually condensing that into a special chamber, or even having the ability to pump it directly down the drain if I chose to actually get that accessory. So let's start with what's available on the front here. The thing I love about a condenser dryer is it's the true fabric care machine. And what it does by being a true fabric care machine is it's just got the most beautiful way of handling your clothes in the most gentle and perfect fashion to get the best outcome and also the best life out of your clothing. Minimising shrinkage, removing lint easily, and also having a full control over the moisture level I'd like to have left in my clothing after the drying program is complete. So when we look on the front here, first of all I can see here my drying level selection, and I can choose anywhere in between a full dry, right down to a machine dry level. And what that means is, in particular for some fabrics like linen, where we want to leave a little bit moisture in the actual clothing for a nice hand dry, where I can get a great result in drying the linen with just that nice bit of moisture left in it, I've got the ability to select that level on this machine. Secondly, you'll see also I've got some lovely temperature control, and I've got a low temperature, a high temperature, and also I've got a completely cold dry with no heat at all. So again, I can manage my fabrics perfectly. And we have selections here even to choose whether I have got cottons or denims, maybe just shirts, maybe some delicate minimum iron articles, or even just straight woolen. So beautiful control over what type of fabric I'm drying and how to manage that fabric during the drying program. If we actually step inside the dryer now, the first thing we're going to see is the massive capacity that's available. And that capacity isn't to fit more clothing in, it's to manage that drying program perfectly. The large drum here enables the clothing to tumble freely without getting tangled. And secondly, the large capacity enables the moisture that's being generated during the drying program to come easily off the clothing and condense in the actual condensing chamber perfectly. And the last thing it does for me is allow that space around the clothing again for the lint to be removed nicely off the clothing during the drying program. And when they have this fantastic filter system in the dryer, where we've got a filter here in the door, and secondly, a very fine filter that's located physically in the door itself. And this very fine filter captures all of the lint and all of the dust generated during the drying program, so I don't get any residual dust in my laundry whatsoever. So then how do I control my moisture removal and how I'm managing that? When I look inside the dryer, I have this particular little chamber in here which I can access with my little key, and inside here is the workings of the condenser dryer. And this component here, the actual condenser, is the part that's responsible for removing all of the moisture during the drying program. And this component here extracts the moisture, is then pumped up in the dryer into this little compartment up the top here, where I actually get all of the water that's being generated during the drying program stored in this chamber. And typically if you're using a front loader as your washing machine, the spin cycle on that is fast enough to limit the amount of moisture that's going to need to be extracted from the clothing, and so this will only need to be emptied after about 3 drying programs. Now the other option to the condenser chamber here is also an accessory hose I can purchase, which allows a direct plumb of the dryer straight to your plumbing, so there's no need to actually empty the water container here. So nice and convenient extraction of the water during the drying program. So there we have it. That's the condenser dryer, one of the must-have inclusions in any modern laundry today.